graphic up here. All right, we're ready to go. Welcome to the Cox Sports Coaches College Basketball Coaches Corner, coming to you live from the Sugar and Spice. We have Thomas Sheida. Okay, I'm going to get that right. I probably will mess it up. Sheida. Okay. Okay, all right. How to get, that's good old spelling check. Mess that up. Okay, all right. Well, let's talk a little bit about you. A redshirt senior, 6'2" guard from Bundaberg, Australia. How in the heck did you get to USC Upstate in Spartanburg, South Carolina? Okay. 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 What do you like about Spartanburg? And hopefully one thing after you leave today, one thing you can add to that, you can say the sugar and spice. Because we're going to feed you today. And last week, your two teammates that came, that Miguel and Floyd both said this was the best food they've had since they've been in Spartanburg. So that was a good endorsement right there. That I can't wait to tell the owner that tonight when I see him a little later on, though. But what is it in Spartanburg that you like about it? Well, I am actually a 1980 graduate of USC Upstate, and I played on the floor at the Hodge Center back there. I was on basketball scholarship, but things have gotten a whole lot better there. That I kid with Coach Dickerson and some of the other players there that we didn't have any dorms when I went there. We stayed at Broadmoor Apartments, which was down I-85 or the Business 85. We didn't have any kind of food service. We either ate at the Peach Blossom Cafe, that's usually breakfast, and a restaurant that's now a Starbucks called Shoney's is where we ate suppers and stuff like that. We ate pregame meal at Shoney's and ended up usually with a stomachache before we played. One of my first classes, a freshman English class I took, there was only 3 buildings in. There was an administration building, the library, and the Hodge Center were the only buildings on campus. So we actually had classrooms at a local motel down I-85 Business. So I had an English class in a motel room. And it was different all right too, because I remember there was, since you had to commute to classes anyway, so that's how I learned the art of finding a parking place. Because you get there at class time and everybody was fighting for those handful of parking places. But I was going to school one day. I was on 26 going to school, and there was this pokey car in front of me, had an 8 o'clock class. I was determined I was not going to be late, and I almost ran him off the road. And I made it to my class on time, but lo and behold, the person I ran off the road was my teacher.
Oh, wow.
And he came in and said, "Mr. Cox, you must have been in a hurry this morning." And I kind of shrunk under the desk after that, though. So I learned my lesson. All right, Australia. How did you get started in basketball? Is that country pretty big on basketball? I'm thinking maybe they were soccer or something like that, but what was the big sport of basketball?
So coming up, I played every sport. Tried everything. Even swimming, all types of sports. And I remember we had a pro team, an NBL team, and my dad got free tickets one day, and we just happened to go. And I was young and energetic, couldn't sit down the whole game. And once we left that game, I decided like, this is what I want to do. And so the culture in Australia
All right, tell me a little bit about when you were a little boy. What did you used to do basketball wise? I know when I was little, I loved basketball, and it was Frank McGuire was the head coach at South Carolina down there, and he kind of attracted me to basketball with the Fighting Gamecocks back then. He brought all these guys in from New York that were ball brawlers, but they could play. They could flat out play though. But I would go out where I lived. I lived outside the city limits. I had no neighbors, and I had a dirt court. And I would go up there and I would shoot until 9 or 10 at night. And it was shoot, shoot, shoot all day long. I had a street light right there because there wasn't anything else to do, and I loved it. And I played every countdown simulation game. I made up my own little games though, but you know, my dream was to get to go to college on basketball scholarship, and I got that. That dream came true. So did you have an experience like that, or what was it like for you?
So I think my best memories from coming up in basketball, we had a import from America, from Columbia, South Carolina, from my hometown. His name was Will Shepard.
Mm-hmm.
I think ever since I met him, he's been a major impact in my life. Even still to this day, he's in Columbia right now. And just growing up, being around him every day, we became like best friends. We would take to the gym with him before school, after school, late at night. We just became part of our family. And I think the relationship side of basketball has been the most important factor for me. Growing up, I always made a lot of friends and made a community around basketball. But now getting older, I'm starting to see how like God gave me a platform to reach the next generation. And I think that's the most important thing for me. I obviously love the game, but just how I can impact the people around me and just shed light to different things is really important to me.
I see you are a very intelligent young man. That you were last year. You were Big South All Academic team right there, though. So what do you plan on doing when your time to hang your shoes up comes and you have to go out into the real world?
The real world, yeah, it's coming soon. Academics has always been a big thing in my family. My parents have always pushed me to be as good as I possibly can academically. They trust Coach D with the basketball side. Whatever he says goes, and he said as long as I come back to the house and my good grades, they're happy. So for me, the next step is just figuring out what is next for me and what are my next goals. My goals were to obviously to play Division I scholarship, and that was something that I was happy to check off. The next thing is just where do I want to plant my feet next? Do I want to go back to Australia? Do I want to stay here in America? I love business, so you could pretty much almost assure it would be something business related. Yeah.
Didn't know if you had any desire to stay with basketball in some capacity.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think as long as I'm healthy and I just keep paving the way, I'll play for as long as I possibly can. And then I think when I'm older, I want to, or even now, just get into the side of like maybe coaching, but maybe not as much of like the X's and O's, but more of how can I develop like young adults around my age now and help them in their journey of life through the platform of basketball. That's probably the most important thing.
Well, I know when I was in college that I was trying to decide what to do. I knew I wanted to work with young people in some capacity. And I had even thought about the possibility of going into some type of ministry, youth ministry, being a youth minister and all. And then my wife, who I was engaged to at that time, she knew how much I love sports and all. She said, why don't you try to go into sports and be an influence as a coach? And so 59 years I've been involved in basketball in some way for 59, ever since I was 6 years old. For 59 years, either as a player, a coach, or now getting to broadcast the games, and I can say what I want to, and I don't get any more of these for telling officials. Sometimes they'll turn my mic off, but but they, it's very enjoyable. That basketball is just means a lot to me, and still I love watching you guys play and being there for the games, that's is still a big part of my life. I hope it's with me until the day I die, which I hope will not be anytime soon. All right, well, tell me a little bit, what do you feel like your role is to the team?
I think my role on the team is just being a leader and setting a good example for the guys on and off the court. I know what my role is naturally going to be as a player, but I think submitting to my role of how can I get other players better is helps the team a lot. So we all have like self goals and self ambitions and things like that. But at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is the bench and the program. And being a security group as a team, as a unit, and as a family, we're going to win. So whatever I can do each day, whether that be I don't know if it was to go and just hand out cups of water before practice, if that's what it would have to be the best I can, then that's what it would be.
And this is one thing that I've always known has been important. There's only so many minutes a game that you can get so many players in a game. But some of my biggest team members were the guys that were actually on my show team. And I actually, at my banquet every year, gave the show team award. The guy who busted it every day, and because the guys who had actually knew what their role was going to be, though, that they knew that we played our games on Tuesday and Friday nights, that Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday was their game days. And so, tried to make it that way as much. My guys in that same situation too, that I had some goofy coaches coming up and say, well, you got to score so many points before you let her. Those guys, to me, everybody on my team that came today, it came every day, and they practiced, they let her, because they were still a huge part of our team, helping us every day. We made competitions, and I've told Coach Dickerson about this too, that we would put the show team defense out there, and we put the first string offense out there, and we would put, every time the defense got a stop, then they got a point. Every time the offense got a basket, we would get a point. Or the defense got a defensive rebound or forced a turnover, they got a point. We played a 5. We played a lot of mini games, and the losers had to do 10 push-ups. So, the guys over there, it was competition every day, and there was good rivalry on that. But, everybody has got a part. Everybody has a part. When we won, everybody won, because they had a big part in making us better by seeing what we had to see. And it was really good too, that every chance we got to play, if I got a chance, winning by 50, I could care less. But if I got everybody in the game and we won by 10, then it was a win. And it was so much fun too, that the guys, the starters that came out of the game were pulling for the guys who got in that didn't get a lot of minutes. So I think the only problem I ever had one time with a player, and he just went on the right boat with us. We were playing a game, and we were up by a lot. And so I went on and put everybody in, and he came over to me and said, Coach, you've got to put me back in. I didn't get my average tonight. And I said, you're not. Go sit at that end chair down there. So it's a game like that, and it's a lot of fun. And, your chemistry and your teammates and stuff like that, that's all a part of the overall basketball sphere. That's what makes it fun there. All right, what do you think your strengths are?
As a player, I think my strengths are I can shoot the free ball well.
And you knocked one down last game from the top of the circle. I saw that.
Then I think just being able to understand what the coaches want. I've been here 5 years now, and I understand the program. I know what's a good shot, what's a bad shot. I know the style of play we're trying to play at, the pace we're trying to play at. So I think just understanding, have that IQ of what are we trying to achieve as a team. I think that's one of my favorite things.
Okay. All right. What do you think makes you a good teammate?
I think just being able to just understand that who I am as a
What are your interests outside of basketball? What do you like to do?
Outside of basketball, I love fashion. I love clothes. But I think my most important thing is before basketball is God and my relationship with God. So being that how you were saying before about just getting into youth ministry and things like that, being that can help like the younger generation and really make an impact on somebody's life is really important thing to me.
All right. Well, you said the right word for my next question. One of my things that I used to enjoy most about coaching was I designed a new uniform for my team every year. And I brought one of them with us today. This was one of my favorites right here.
Wow, that's cool.
The pinstripes, that we had that. We had the long pants. I'm going to show you a couple of them right here. This was our red jersey that we had up here that was with the same color. The fella in this picture, Jay Free, actually played at USC Upstate.
Yep, I've seen some of his videos and highlights before too.
This was our warm-ups that we had right there, the pinstripe, red, white, and black, clown pants, shooting shirts. Everything, of course, had the names on the back, stitched like on that. Even the practice jerseys had it on both sides of the back. Okay, this was our white jerseys right here. You can't see them real good. Our white uniforms with right there. Let's see if we got another one like that, though. Might interest, too, this guy right here, number 15. His name was Sidney Rice. He played for the Minnesota Vikings. He was an all-pro NFL receiver. We went head-to-head with him. This guy I've got right here that played for me, this is finishing off one of our set plays. He played on the national championship team at University of North Carolina and played with the Rams in the Miami Dolphins for 4 years. So we had some good games when he and Sidney Rice went head-to-head, though. But my next question for you is, all right, I'm going to give you, since you like to design, tell me what would be your favorite uniform. If you start from scratch, design me a USC Upstate uniform. What would it look like?
That's an interesting question. I think I'm a fan about old. So my freshman year when I came in, we had these black and green reversible practice uniforms. And the green, it was like this type of green, maybe a little bit lighter, but it was just the perfect shade for me. So I would probably go a all black silhouette uniform and green stripes or something down the side.
Uh-huh.
You gotta keep the squad head on it.
Yep.
I think I would put one of our team. So we have a team motto we go by, which is all in, do the job, and we not me.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have that somewhere, maybe
Stitched on the pants, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I would probably put the font, put the name on the back. I would go like maybe like the old English type of style, and yeah, something like that.
I like it. You need to get together sometime with me. We'll have fun designing some new stuff like that, though. But that's the part one of the things I miss most about coaching. I don't get to do that. So I design now a lot of my Cox Sports broadcasting jerseys that I'll wear to broadcast and stuff in those, so I still get to do that, though. So, all right, we're going to get some quick either-and questions with you. The fun questions coming up here. Let's see what I want to go with first here. Okay. All right. Heads or tails? Tails never fails. I've learned that over the time, though. But most times to start a football game, when they flip the coin, it comes up tails a higher percentage time than it does heads. So if you ever have to call one like that, go with that, though. Are you a dress-up guy? Are you a GQ guy, dress-up guy, or are you more of a relaxed, casual guy?
I think I would dress up.
I like to dress up too, but I'm in for that too. All right, would you rather go fast or would you rather go up high?
I'm not a fan of heights, so I would rather say fast.
Okay, I'm not a fan of heights at all, but I can go as fast as you want to go. Okay, I think the fastest I've ever been, they used to have a thing at Charlotte Motor Speedway when I covered some racing too. But on Black Friday, they used to open the track up, and you could go and donate $25 to track charities, and you could take your car 3 laps around the track. And they had a lot of, they had some other cars out there, and they had a pace car. And I learned, and I had a convertible. I still got a convertible. And I learned, I laid back and let the pace car get about half a lap to me, and I put it down, and I got up over 120 a couple of times on the bank tracks.
That might be a little too fast.
Well, it was fun. I had the camera mounted, and I took it, my co-host with me, he was right there in the passenger side. I took him right up against the wall. But I got my $25 worth because I got it up to about 120 on there, though. So, all right, L.A. or New York?
I'm actually a fan of both. I think if I had to live, it would probably be LA. I'm not really a fan of both.
Okay. All right. My next one is, would you rather be hot or cold? Okay. All righty. SEC, ACC? Okay. Would you rather be smart or funny?
I would say part of me wants to say funny, but I think smart, being smart is a good.
Well, if you're on the Big South academic team right there, all-star team, I think I would go with that too. Would you rather win the lottery or find your soulmate?
Wow. I think a part of finding your soulmate could is kind of like winning the lottery, so I would go with that.
Okay, just don't find your soulmate. She wants the lottery. Wants to help you spend the lottery. All right, here, let's see what else we got right here. Netflix or Hulu?
Honestly, I'm not really a big movie or TV show kind of guy.
Okay.
So I would have to, I would just pass on it.
Would you rather be a singer or a movie star actor?
I would rather be a singer.
Okay. All right, that sounds like a good one too. All right, your Christmas or your birthday?
I gotta go with
All right, beach or mountains? Okay. Let's see. Would you rather be the most skilled player on your team or the most intelligent?
That's a tough question. I think actually maybe I would like to be a
Okay. All right. Let's see if I got a couple more right here. Beach or mountains? All right. I wasn't sure we got that one yet. They're not. Okay. And the last question is, if somebody walked in here today and did not know who you are, where you're from, or anything like that, what's the most important thing you'd want them to know about you? That is a great answer right there. That I'm with you on that one, that I'm a Christian, believe in God, and I support you 100%, and I'll be praying that you reach the things that you want to do for you today. So Thomas has been our guest today, and he has survived the lightning round questions. So good luck the rest of the season. Look forward to seeing you at the Hodge Center there, and finish this thing out strong. Let's get in that tournament and go win the tournament.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Spartan fans, the Superstars are coming to Upstate.
Hoops fans' favorite halftime act
Joins us on Wednesday, February 21st, when USC Upstate men's basketball takes on Charleston Southern at 7 p.m. One of sports' top entertainment acts, the Superstars combine dance and comedy into an amazing show for fans of all ages. Lock in your seats for a night of guaranteed laughs Wednesday, February 21st with the Superstars and Upstate Hoops. Visit upstatespartans.com/tickets.
Okie dokie, let me check something. All right, let's see if we got our mics going on here. We should have everything coming through good. Is Dave Dickerson III. Welcome to the Coach's Corner here.
Thank you for having me.
All righty. Well, let's let Spartanburg know a little bit about you. I'm sure they already know about you, that you played at Dorman High School.
Mm-hmm.
I coached at Dorman High School back when before it was Dorman University. I coached at Dorman High School when it was over there where Walmart now is, though. So, but you've come up with a real good basketball program there, though. So you are pretty familiar with Spartanburg. What was it about? Was it the decision to play for your dad, or what attracted you to USC Upstate?
Well, what attracted me was just getting the chance to play basketball, and then like having just a new experience after my first year of college. I was just a regular student at the University of South Carolina. Things didn't go the way I wanted to, so I decided to give basketball another try and see if I could still play it. And so over the summer, I worked on improving myself, improving my skills, improving my shape, improving my athleticism, and it worked out for me.
Okay. What is the biggest thing that you felt like you needed to work on?
The biggest thing I needed to work on was just like knowing how to do things, playing more, being able to play more, play longer, and then just like my skills, overall skills.
Okay. All right. What do you feel like is your role to the team now?
My role was just being an energy guy, playing hard, giving guys rest when they need to, mostly in practice, or giving them support during the games because I know I'm not going to play that much or like be involved. So I got to support them as much as I can, and then helping them see things that they don't always see, like during practice or during the games. And then overall, just being that guy to like lift each other up and like trying to make them better and like helping them out with things.
Okay. What was the best advice anybody has ever given you about basketball and about life?
Just be in the moment. Just deliver when your name is called, and just like no matter what, always play hard.
Has it been extra pressure, you feel like, having to play for your dad, or has it been extra fun getting to spend that extra time with your dad?
Hasn't really like been that much pressure on him. Like most of the pressure is just like comes from me, like just playing and then just like being to deliver well, like my expectations. But like overall, it's just been more fun, like getting to be coached by your father because you just have the support and then the connection.
And I guess too, you're inside, you want to make him proud of you, and on the second hand, he probably wants you to know that he's proud of you regardless of what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. What do you think is the biggest challenge in basketball that you face in basketball?
Biggest challenge is just consistency, like being confident every day, like knowing, like just paying attention to detail and like actually knowing what you do and delivering, because like there's just different scenarios that always happen and it's not always like clear cut, so you just got to be like adjusted to things because it's not always going to go how it's going to be like one day, and then like the next day like your shot is not always going to like be the same. There's going to be days where you don't play well or like do well, and so you just got to like adjust to like all the different scenarios that happen.
Okay. What do you enjoy most about playing basketball at USC Upstate?
Getting to be on the Division I team, like getting to compete every day with other people, and just like getting to be a part of a brotherhood and being a part of people that are really good at basketball and like who can really play, who really compete.
You have many your teammates, former teammates from Dorman, that are here in town that come by to see you from time to time or come to the games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you get to keep that. You've got the hometown people. Have you ever even been to the Sugar and Spice before?
Yeah, I've been here before, like a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's some really good food.
What's your favorite thing? Do you have a favorite thing on the menu?
Last thing I had was a burger. I haven't really had anything else. I haven't looked at what was on the menu. I don't remember that much, but it was really good.
My two favorite things, I love the roast beef sandwich and the souvlaki is good too. That's the beef tips. So those are good things there you can be thinking about before you get to eat here. Do you have, and I meant to ask Thomas this and I forgot this too, do you have any superstitions or any things you do before every game? I know I had my floppy socks that I wore, my Pete Maravich socks, and I'm dating myself on those. And I know Bailey told me he's got to wear his lucky sweatband. He's got them, I think, in all three colors now. But he's got to have his sweatband and all like that. And I've had several others mention their socks too, though. But do you have a good luck thing or something that you do before every game to get you ready to go?
Well, I did used to think about like some superstitions, but it's just like normally I really don't believe in those that much. I feel like that's gonna take away from like actually being able to deliver and be able to like do the things you're supposed to do. I think I do have like a specific set of stuff that I put on, like some gear, but overall I feel like it doesn't really make that much of an impact. I'm not really that superstitious about it because I know like it's gonna take away from the fact of like doing the things that you're supposed to do. Like I feel like that's the superstition, like doing the things you know to do and knowing how to do that.
Yes, okay. All right, what is the biggest misconception that people have about basketball?
They think that it's really like easy to like play well every day just because you're a certain type of like height or like can run that fast or like jump that high that you're gonna be able to deliver or like be able to do well. But like the fact of the matter is like when you're at a level like this, like everybody is like that. You're always gonna have people that are like really tall, like have people that are super strong and like can really shoot and like can really play make. So it's not so much about like your physical traits, it's more about like how your team flows in and like how you deliver at one moment and like how you react to certain situations. And it's more like mental than it is like physical.
Okay. And kind of piggybacking on that, your answer you gave there, what skills do you think are necessary to be a successful basketball player?
Being able to be well in shape, being able to be a great athlete, being able to like be at the right place at the right time, being able to like make shots when you need them, being able to like know where you're at, be at the right place, be able to like make a good play, make the good pass, and like be able to like make a stop, make a defensive stop, and like grab the ball when you need to grab the ball. Just like knowing what to do and like do it hard.
Okay. What do you think defines success for a player in a team?
What defines success is being able to push through adversity and being able to like go through the obstacles, because it's not always going to be perfect and there's not always going to be like great things, but like being able to like conquer those in a way and figuring a way out, that's what defines the success. Like how you're able to like face the adversity, like the difficult stuff, because it's going to happen.
Okay. What is your major at USC Upstate?
It's information management and systems.
Okay. So what do you, when your time finally comes to hang up your sneakers and all, what do you plan to do after basketball?
Going to like my primary is just to go into the field of information technology, information management, and like if that's not working out, like probably go into some fitness or like have that combined, like probably go into like the information side of fitness.
Okay. All right. When things are not going well on the basketball court, and I know that there's been a lot of adversity that y'all been through and all like that, how do you keep yourself motivated and focused?
Just know that it's not over until it's over, and like you can always find a way to go through. Like just keep competing until like the buzzer hits, until the clock hits zero, and just like, because like there's situations like you saw at High Point where you were down by 20 and like we still found a way.
Yeah.
And like that's like the part of the game. That's always part of the game. It's like it's never over until it's over. So you just got to keep on pushing it, like keep on fighting until it's over.
And do you think that this team has been great at that this year? I mean, look back Longwood.
Mm-hmm.
You lead 1.5 seconds of the game.
Yeah.
That's the last 1.5, and you win the ball game. Do this team pretty much feel like you're never ever out of a game?
Yeah, we always feel like we're never out of the game. Like especially like when we play hard and we know how to stop teams. We know how to put the ball in the basket. We know how to We know how to operate. We know where to be in the right places at the right time.
What is your definition of being a good leader?
Being a good leader is like being able to lift your teammates, being able to like get them in the right place, being able to like help them focus on the game, focus on the things that they need to do to win the game, and like when things don't go well, like keep them to like keep doing the things that they need to do, and like just overall like not being the one that's complaining about stuff and not being the one that like takes away others' energy. Like keep on being the person that gives people energy and like keeps them motivated and keeps them focused on what's to do.
Okay, we're talking with Dave Dickerson III is one of our special guests this week here at Sugar and Spice. So, and that's kind of what my definition, I think, of leadership is. To just sum it up is a leader is somebody who keeps hope alive. That's not going to let the hope go astray or whatever, but I kind of think that it's something you're able to do. You can keep everybody motivated, you keep them going, and you don't let them give up. If you do that, I think you're a pretty good leader along those lines. All right, we're going to go to some fun questions now for you, and you've got a chance to hear some of Thomas's questions over here, though, so I have to try to mix a few in that you haven't heard there. All right, heads or tails, what do you think?
I got tails.
You got tails, okay. He won the toss. You had heads, he had tails, so he gets the ball first. Okay, we'll go from there. All right, are you a dress-up guy? Would you consider yourself a dress-up guy, GQ guy, or are you a casual, laid-back guy?
For most of the time, I'd be like a casual, laid-back guy, but when the situation calls for it, I'll be a dress-up guy.
See, I'm an old codger now. The only time I get dressed up is on game day. See, I was the best dressed coach in Spartanburg County for 3 straight years. And then they started going to the casual look with the half zips and stuff like that. And I eventually got rid of the tie and had to go with the mock turtleneck and stuff like that. So now when I do the game, and I've got the game Wednesday night, that I've got to pick out my outfit where I can be GQ for the College of Charleston. Charleston Southern game on the Big South and ESPN Plus. All right, cartoon-wise, you may or may not know these. Did you know who Roadrunner was?
Not exactly.
Little bird that went meep meep, and he got chased by Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Do you pull for Roadrunner or Wile E. Coyote?
When I watched those, I was pulling for Wile E. Coyote to like basically get the Roadrunner, because like it would always frustrate me when he always doesn't get it.
I finally found a Wile E. Coyote fan here. Everybody goes with that stupid little bird, and I just wish Wiley would pluck his little feathers and wring his little neck. That poor Wile E. Coyote gets blown up, thrown off a mountain, smushed, all that stuff, but he keeps coming back. You got to love Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
So thank you. You are the first person that's ever gone with me on Wile E. Coyote on that. Thank you. Okay. Would you rather go back in time or forward in time?
I'd rather go forward in time just to see like what's going to happen, like what's to come, so I could be prepared for it.
Okay. Would you rather be the hunted team or the underdogs?
I'd rather be the underdog, so people can be surprised when we beat teams.
That's right, and it's so much fun. Mm-hmm. And I know y'all had to have loved it last Wednesday, to have gone into High Point, and they are partying the whole time, and they're just to be able to smile and say, "Have a nice trip home tonight," because I know we are. Though I always like to be the villain when you play on the road. I used to love to go into other people's places and beat them and send their fans home disappointed. That was a lot of fun doing that. All right, let's see what else we got right here. Do you have any phobias? Anything you're afraid of?
Not that I can think off the top of my head, but I mean, one of the phobias is just like maybe like in a situation where I lose everyone that's close to me. That's basically like the phobia that comes to the top of my head, but okay. And like just a couple of bugs. I don't want to see.
Do you like snakes?
Some of them, like not. I don't really like all of them, but like there's just some that are like scary to look at.
Okay. Do you like heights? Are you afraid of heights?
Yeah, to some extent. I don't really like being in high places.
I do not like glass elevators. I do not like heights. in any way? Well, again, would you rather be the most skilled player or most intelligent player?
I'd rather be the most skilled player because like I can still like learn how to do things like when I already got the skills to do it, but like learning on the fly is something that I can pick up like through time. So I'd rather have the skills with me and then like pick up and just like learn from things and like learn from mistakes.
Okay. All right. Let me get real quick here too. Let's see. I lost my place. All right. Would you rather win the lottery or find your soulmate?
I'd rather find my soulmate because I feel like that's more important for me than just like winning the lottery and just having like temporary money. Like just finding my soulmate is just like having someone you could be with for the rest of your life. That's more valuable than just like winning the lottery and money.
That's the way I feel about my wife there. I mean, money, if you have a lot of money, guess what? You're going to want more. You're going to always want more there, though. But if you've got somebody special in your life, then you've hit the jackpot. Would you rather make the game-winning shot or have the game-winning assist?
I'd rather have the game-winning shot because like it would just be a great feeling to like be able to hit it, and like I feel like that's what's more remembered. So like personally me, I would want to hit the game-winning shot.
All right. I'm going to throw this one at you too here. Design me a USC Upstate. You were probably, you never got to play against those uniforms. I was gone, but I know you saw those colors when you played against Bowling Springs there. What would be your jersey, your Upstate uniform you would design?
Well, personally, like an Upstate uniform I would like to design would probably be like similar to the ones that we had like a couple years ago before we had the black and gray. Like I would have that and like have a version of that in gray and then the version of that in green too. So we could have like 4 types of versions of jerseys.
Okay. So I now is the black one this year new one? Is that your black uniform new one? That's it's really sharp. I like that. I like that, and I like the green, the shooting shirts. That those are really sharp too. There, though.
Yeah, they are.
So, but that was again one of my fun things to do was to always see, because I always felt like, and I try to give my players the best uniforms money could buy. Because do you feel this way that when you look good, you play good?
Yeah, most of the time.
Yep. Because that was the thing. If I look like $1 million, I better play like $1 million. Because my players knew that if I gave them this stuff and they went out there and goofed up, then I went and got the box of Daisy Dukes that's in the back room, and we went back to the old throwback uniforms that they hated. So, let's see if I got anything else I want to throw at you here real quick. All right, my final question that I always ask. If somebody were to walk in today and not know who you were, what would be the most important thing you want them to know about you?
I mean, just someone who's known for like getting stuff done, known for like wanting to make people's day better, and just wanted to like work hard in everything that I do.
Okay. Well, Dave, we've enjoyed having you with us.
I enjoyed being here.
And again, look forward to seeing the Spartans finish out on a positive note. And we're going to find you something good to eat here in just a few minutes from the Sugar and Spice.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Dave Dickerson III has been our second guest today on the Coach's Corner. We'll be back in just a minute.
Spartan fans, the Superstars are coming to Upstate.
Hoops fans' favorite halftime act
Joins us on Wednesday, February 21st when USC Upstate men's basketball takes on Charleston Southern at 7 p.m. One of sports' top entertainment acts, the Superstars combine dance and comedy into an amazing show for fans of all ages. Lock in your seats for a night of guaranteed laughs Wednesday, February 21st with the Superstars and Upstate Hoops. Visit upstatespartans.com/tickets.
Good luck to you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. All righty. We have got our little commercial here. This is going to be neat. Have you seen what the things they're going to have in there performing at your game?
Yeah, I heard about that.
I used to love when I did the Hornets games, and I'm going to run it one more time here real quick.
Spartan fans, the Superstars are coming to Upstate.
Hoops fans' favorite halftime act
Joins us on Wednesday, February 21st when USC Upstate men's basketball takes on Charleston Southern at 7 p.m. One of sports' top entertainment acts, the Superstars combine dance and comedy into an amazing show for fans of all ages. Lock in your seats for a night of guaranteed laughs Wednesday, February 21st with the Superstars and Upstate Hoops. Visit upstatespartans.com/tickets.
Headbutt the other guy and it just knocked him over there. But I used to enjoy that. That was a lot of fun. Well, we're going to get on now. We have got Coach Dave Dickerson with us this week with the Coach's Corner. So let me get everything pulled up and hopefully we're all ready to go here. Get the graphics on. And we'll go ahead and get started. Well, Coach, first of all, you had a kind of an interesting week this past week. A great win on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day with that win, though. But you pulled off a stunner and just a great win on the road against the #1 High Point team.
Yeah, it was a great win, and I thought our preparation was really good for that game, and I thought our mojo was really good. And people on the outside always look at it, it says it was an upset, but we played well against those guys at home.
Yeah.
And we just had a bad 3 minutes and 15 seconds in the first half, at the end of the first half, to where we didn't execute, and they opened the game up a little bit by 9 points. But I thought our guys really competed and played hard at home, and I thought that the rebounding and the free throws in the second half played a big part of it. But as I looked at the game, and as our guys studied the game and the coach studied the game, I thought we did a great job of putting ourselves in a situation to where we're away, we're on the road, we're playing against a good team. We probably should have played better at home. So let's give ourselves a chance to win on the road, and we had fun, and we did that.
And again, pretty much it was no pressure at all on you, because really nobody was giving you a chance coming in there. Everybody was ready to say we're that there. And I used to love games like that, where there's no pressure. Let's go out and play. Let's have fun. We know we can win this game. They may be taking us lightly, but we know we can win, and let's go do the things we've been coached to do and get that W.
Yeah, it was an interesting situation in the sense that I think our guys have a lot of pride in who they are and what they are, and I think when the players were talking from the first game to the second game, I thought they did a good job of developing that toughness and that pride about Upstate basketball, in the sense that when High Point came to play against us the first time, to prepare against us, I thought our guys heard that they practiced in their practice gym instead of on the main court. And so to get prepared for the ambiance of the Hard instead of that big, nice arena. Mm-hmm. And I thought our guys did a good job of taking heed in that and having pride, like I said. And our shoot-around was as good and locked in as a shoot-around I've had in my 33 years of coaching. And even though we got down a little bit in the first half, we got down by 20. We got down by 20 early, and we didn't play well. So if we just gave ourselves a chance to play well, in which we did, the last 10 minutes, the last 4 minutes of the game, we went on a 12-0 run, and that gave us the right to come out in the second half and win the game.
And it was huge too. It was fun after talking with last week to Miguel and with Floyd. The main thing we talked about was three-point shooting.
Yeah.
When in doubt, let it fly. And on that one, never up, never in. To see that Miguel comes through, hits 3 threes in the final minute, and he's looking for a shot, goes 6 for 8, and has 22 points off the bench there. That was just so much fun because we had just talked about all that and stuff on Wednesday there, to see him and Floyd both have a big game.
Well, I thought about that after the Gardner-Webb game. It seemed as though we need to come down here and do the Coach's Corner show on Monday and then come back on Thursday or Friday and do it because you've been such a good ambassador for our program. Miguel played well. He shot the ball with confidence, and the great thing about that is that when you have a guy that can shoot the ball like that, you're only going to be successful if your teammates recognize that, right? And I thought our guys gave him the ball when he needed and gave it to him in his sweet spot. And for him to make the shots he made, but most importantly, the guys that gave him the ball, it was a sign of us being a great teammates and being totally unselfish in that game.
And I saw in him on the TV right there something I have not seen a lot at certain times. He felt the sense of urgency that he needed to step up and do that. Whereas sometimes I think he's trying to be a little bit nice and not do stuff there, but he saw, hey, I need to do something here, and he really stepped up in a big way.
Yeah, and that's the thing we talked about in film today was that, I told him specifically that, at Women Mary, they gave him a very limited role, which was to put him in the corner, and if the ball comes to him and he's open, knock it down, right? But what we've asked him to do here is be a basketball player, in a sense that we do a lot of cutting, especially on the weak side, and we do a lot of DHOs, we do a lot of through cuts, and we move our guys from side to side to where we want him to be a basketball player, and we don't want the three-point shot to define him. We want him to be a player and be able to defend, rebound, take care of the basketball, and also have that offset toughness that he displayed against High Point, not only during the games when you feel it, but every game of the year. And I think he took heed in that. And I think the next 3 games is going to be really, really, really important for him, and he's going to play really well for us.
Bless your heart. It seems like when it rains, it pours. You get a big win up there like that. Everything's looking good coming home to play Gardner-Webb, and then you got one of your best players going concussion protocol and can't play Saturday game there.
Yeah, I was sick. I was sick about that, and I felt bad for our team. I felt bad for the coaches, and because when I announced it to the team, but first the coaches, you can see the air go out of the room, right? And because Nick is a big part of who we are. He's been playing as good as anybody in the conference during conference season. And in a game like that, Gardner-Webb played well. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything from Gardner-Webb, but having Nick in that game playing his 25 to 30 minutes would have been a big difference for us. And not guaranteed that we'd have won the game, but we'd have had a better shot at winning it with Nick because we had too many guys playing in crucial minutes and in crucial situations that they're not used to.
And again, with Nick's leadership and his physicality, they had a spurt there where they got like 5 or 6 shots in a row.
Yeah.
His athleticism, you missed him with the inside presence and the ability to get some of those rebounds.
Yeah, and Nick felt bad. He called me after the game, but it's one of those things where concussion protocol is important.
Right.
And it's one of those things where it may not be a big deal right now, but you know how it is in the future. And so we want to make sure that we protect our guys. And Nick is a great guy. He's a great teammate. And I thought our trainer, Abby, and our team doctor, John Lucas, did a good job of making sure that Nick was protected from himself.
And I hope that a foul was called whenever he got that, because I used the kid, no concussion, no foul, in some of these games you play in. So I hope they at least blew the whistle on that one right there, though. But I know that was missing him. Will you be getting him back soon? Or?
Well, he woke up this morning with no concussion symptoms, which was a good thing. And he did a non-contact practice. And if there's no symptoms tonight or tomorrow morning, then he can do more of a contact practice tomorrow. And if he can get through that, we think we'll have him on Wednesday to play against Charleston Southern. But my focus has been with the team and the coaches to make sure that no matter who we have on the court, because Sheida plays some important minutes on Saturday, we got to make sure everybody raise their level, right? And raise their level of play. And the thing that we got to do, we got to rebound the basketball. We got to gain that physicality and rebound the basketball. We had too many spectators in rebounding on Saturday. Gardner Webb had 12 offensive rebounds in the second half, and when you get that, then you really don't have to score the basketball. You can just go ahead and get that second shot and put it back in, and they did a good job of that. So my focus right now as a coach is to make sure everybody is ready to raise their level, and if we have Nick, that'd be great. He's got to raise his level as well, but we got to make sure that everybody raises the level, and that we can offset the things that we don't do a good job of right now, which is with defensive rebound.
And again, that I know that was hard right there. That I looked at first half, second half stat sheets during the game, and that their second chance points just really increased in the second half because of the offensive rebounds.
Exactly. Kids right now, or players right now, don't understand that stat, but the ability to get the basketball is probably the biggest skill you can have. I know you talked to Sheida and my son D3, who I love those two guys. I mean, Sheida is almost like my son. I hope his father's not listening to this, but I love those two guys, and they're a great ambassador. Sheida is a academic all-conference guy, and D3 has been on the dean's list for the last 2 semesters at Upstate. But the biggest skill you can have in basketball now is going to get the basketball.
Right.
And especially as a team, when it presents itself as a team, the biggest skill is getting the basketball. Because if you can get the basketball and get more possession, you give yourself a chance to win.
Well, that's one thing that was always important to me, and it's embarrassing to say that when I played, I wore knee pads because I went diving on the floor so much. My knees were black and blue all the time from that, though. But I actually wore knee pads because I knew I was going to be the first one on the floor, that I did not mind getting down there and getting dirty and scratching and clawing for the game. But you find a lot of players that try to just scoop it on the run and miss the ball.
You can't do that. And I love my guys. I love my program. I love my coaches. But we had too much of that on Saturday, and we lost our identity a little bit in the sense that when we were at High Point, we played winning basketball. Whether it was getting on the floor, whether it was getting defensive rebounds, whether it was getting offensive rebounds, I thought we would have done anything to win that game. And not having Nick, I thought we should have done more, and we didn't do it.
And again, it looked kind of like you didn't really have somebody step up in his absence.
Exactly.
Again, Thomas hit a big three for you at the top of the circle. I know it came in like that, though, but it was kind of hard it was hard to find somebody to plug in his place.
Yeah, and it's tough, and especially this time of year when you lose a player like Nick in the last quarter of the year. It's tough for people to step up, right? And but if he doesn't play on Wednesday, which I hope that he's going to play, and I feel good that he's going to play because he walked off the court feeling really, really good today. But in the event that he doesn't play, I think we're going to be a different team because we're going to have more guys expecting to play better on a longer period of time than a short period of time.
All right, give me a cheat right here that I'm doing the game, TV game Wednesday. Who's the player to watch Wednesday?
Well, for us, I think the players to watch is going to be Pat Ariel. I think Pat now is completely healthy from his back injury, and the aggressiveness he had today was really good. So I think he's going to have a great practice tomorrow. And whenever he's practiced physically, he's going to play well. And I think the next two guys, especially if Nick don't play well, I think Floyd Verdue is going to play well. And I think Sheida is going to play well. I think those three guys have to play well for us to be where we're going to be. And then, and then Trey and Amir and Justin Bailey, those guys just got to be who they are, which is starters. And they got to be some of the best three players in the league.
All right, I've got the stats right here. I'm looking down there. Who is the main player from Charleston Southern we need to watch out for if you have it?
Well, the three guys, the three guys you got there, Sumler, Patrick, and Kelly, right? Kelly, for us, he was 6 for 6 from the field. the first game, and he did what he wanted to do, and so he kind of controlled the tempo of the game. When we made a run in the second half, he negated that with a big time move, right? And then them 11 and number 4, Sumler and Patrick, those guys made threes against us, and so we got to do a good job of taking away threes, and then we got to control the defensive boards. And because those guys are great athletes, and they can go in and get the ball high, they can get it low, and so we got to do a good job of blocking out, initiating some contact, and keeping all those guys off the board because they're really good rebounders.
And again, these last 3 games are really, really important. On you can finish right back there up near the top or the middle of the pack right there, though. But
yeah, and we talked about that, Dick, and like us finishing 4th or 5th in the league this year after the season that we've had will be a blessing, and it will be one of those things to where that's what we got to go after, and we have 2 games at home, 1 on the road against a very, very good Winthrop team, and both teams that's coming here Wednesday and next Wednesday, those teams are playing for the same thing. And so we got to make sure that we're playing and thinking and competing at a high level.
Well, as you know, a lot of people going to UNC Asheville don't have good nights. They got beat up there by Asheville, 86-55. They were 17 for 67 from the floor for the game for 25%.
Yep.
7 out of 29 from threes for 24%.
Oh, boy.
Free throws, they were 14 out of 22 for 63.6%.
Yeah, Asheville's a good team, and they're very physical, and with their physicality, they defend really good. And so I'm not surprised at those numbers because we probably had the same numbers there. But basketball is such a thing where the kids they don't have the memories that you and I have. And they can shake a win off, they can shake a loss off. So I think we're going to face the best Charleston Southern team that they've been because they know they're right in the mix as well. And so we got to play our best basketball on the offensive end, on the defensive end, and on the rebounding aspect of it as well.
And the guy who was the big guy for them off the bench was Clinton. He had 16 points. That he was their leading scorer, but just some of the numbers. Sumler was only 3 out of 13 shooting. Kelly was 3 out of 12 shooting. And again, Johnson was 0 for 8 off the floor, though, but they did not shoot the ball well.
And number 1, Clinton, and 33, both those guys didn't play against us the first game.
Oh, really?
And so it's going to be our first time seeing them other than on film. So it's going to be interesting as well.
Okay. All righty. Well, we're going to get into a couple things here real quick.
Okay.
Right here. First of all, sad week for basketball. We lost Lefty Frizzell.
Yeah.
And can you give me a funny Lefty Frizzell story?
Well, I can give you 2 stories in the sense that Coach Frizzell, when he recruited me, I don't know why he came to South Carolina to recruit a player. and he, he was the most charismatic person in the room. And he had that booming voice, so similar to mine, and he was 6'6", 6'7", and had that big body. And I kidded him when I played for him my first year. I said, I know you wanted me to come to Maryland. And he said, why? I said, because you ate my dad cooking. and my dad... And my dad was the worst cook in the history of cooking, right? And he said, Dave, I'm gonna give you one nugget. If you ever coach and they offer you food, eat it. He said, no matter how it tastes, no matter how it looks, you eat it.
And the word was too that he used to always take his Bible on recruiting trips with him and would sit next to the mother with the Bible.
And that's the next story. I was on my knees Saturday morning praying and doing my devotional, and when I got the text that he had passed away, and I immediately went to the Bible he gave me as a freshman at Maryland.
Wow.
And I opened it up, and he had a personal note. Dave, I hope you read this Bible every day, because this is the best daily bread you can ever get. September 27th, 1985, from Coach Lefty Giselle.
Wow, that's
And so that Bible is something that I've had since 1985, and I have it on my nightstand right now.
wow, that's a great story. Then I know that I talked to Pat. I contacted Pat and let him know that he was in my thoughts and prayers on that. And it's kind of interesting. I talked to Pat a couple of weeks ago, and I said, we were talking about Lefty and all, and I said, does Lefty ever make it down here? I said, if Lefty ever comes down here, I said, I would love to talk to Lefty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He said, well, Lefty's not getting around very much right now, but he said he would love for you to call him. He said he loves to talk to people
Love to talk to people on the phone.
And I said, give me his number, I'll call him. And before I could call him, he passed away.
Yeah, he had a stroke a couple of weeks ago and didn't really bounce back. But he's one of those guys that if you called him, you could be on the phone for 30 minutes now because he talked. And the last time I talked to him, I called him when his wife Joyce passed away, and then he called me when my wife and Deepre's mom, Lorette, passed away. And we just had not that coach-player conversation. We finally had an adult conversation. And whenever you can have an adult conversation with your coach, that is priceless. And I had that with him before he passed away.
Now, when at the high school level, when we got a technical foul, we lost our coach's box. We had to sit down the rest of the game. Now, college-wise, do they do anything like that? Do you lose your box or anything?
No, you don't lose your box, but you gotta leave the court. And I don't think I've had a tech since I've been at Upstate. And I go hard at the officials sometimes, but I respect them, and I don't cross the line because I know those guys are just like us. They get up and they get prepared for the game, and they want to do the very, very best. And so I have a lot of respect for some of them. But you and I talked the last time about the last game, so what do you do?
Well, I had a funny experience because in high school, if we get a technical called on us, we have to sit. We cannot run the sidelines. We have to sit in our chair.
Yeah.
We had to the rest of the game. Well, I got a technical at one of my home games that time.
Okay.
And the wheels were turning, literal. That I sent one of my managers to my office real quick and got my reclining high back chair on wheels. And I was rolling up and down the sidelines inside the coaching box. I was not standing up, which they told me, Coach, you got to sit down the rest of the game. And they didn't know what to do with the rule. I got away with it.
You know what I thought you were going to say?
What?
I thought that you took off your belt and strapped yourself to the chair.
No, I couldn't do that.
And just so you make sure you don't get up. But no, after we get the second one, we're done. And so the first one, we can still move around, stand up, move around, stand up, move around. But we get that second one, we're tossed.
Well, that's the way it was in high school too.
Yeah.
The first one you lose your box. Second one you get tossed. And I used to like having three because whenever I got the first one, my next line was, when they teed me up, the first one was, that's the first call you got right all night. And that's when I got my second one, but I couldn't do that anymore when it went to two and you're gone. But I was going to give you one right there. If y'all had to sit down, make sure you got a chair on wheels or a stool on wheels. They didn't know what to do. And so I wheeled up and down. While I was sitting down. I said, they looked over. I said, I'm sitting like you said. But I rolled up and down the sidelines in the chair with wheels.
That's a great point. That's a great point, Dave. Really.
Okay, let me see if I got a couple more things real quick, and I'm going to let you get out of here. I don't get out of the house often. I'm sorry I talked your ears off.
No, I enjoy this.
Right
yeah,
there,
I look forward to it, actually.
Do you ever do anything? I used to tell my players the night before we played, I would go over the game plan with them. I'd say, this is what we're going to do. We're going to run this after a made free throw, then we're going to get into this. On a made shot with this, missed shot, we're in this. Or sometimes we mix it up and we go 43 one time, where we jump in that defense and then go back to what we're in.
Okay.
But I would actually tell them the game plan. tell them, I'd say, I want you to go home tonight, and when you go to bed, I want you to play this entire game in your mind. I want you to see yourself executing this on the court. You got a 2-on-1 fast break. What are you going to do?
Yep.
And what are you reading on that, though? And stuff like that. And I said, as a coach, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go home and play it in my mind where if so-and-so gets 2 fouls quick, what am I going to do?
Yep.
Or if somebody's not hitting, what I'm going to do?
Yep.
And I actually had my players and myself play the game in our minds the night before we played because I said it's such a fast-moving game, you don't have time to stop and think.
And so what we do, our guys know the first 3 sets that we want to run, and we want to visualize that. But what we do, we send our guys the scouting report, and we make sure. Sometimes when you give it to them, when you walk into the locker room, you see that Sheida has left the scouting report, and the D3 has left the scouting report. So we send it to them, and guys on their phone now. Everybody's on their phone, right? And so we send the scouting report, and we have the guys to read that, because a big part of what we do right now is personnel based. In a sense, it's personnel. And so if you can guard guys based on their strengths and their skills and their weaknesses, then you've done a good job. And so we do that every night before the game, and we want guys to look at that and visualize that. But we have a shoot around that next day, and that's when we put everything in. So we do everything after the practice, the day before the game, as far as going over Charleston Southern stuff. We'll go over that tomorrow night, and then on Wednesday, the day of the game, we'll go over our offensive game plan and personnel game plan, and then we have a first meeting, second meeting, and then the final meeting before the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was I wondered how y'all did that. That was something we did.
Well,
one other thing that I did too that I was kind of neat was that the first of the season that I took one of our basketballs and I called it. And this was my wife's great idea. I can't take credit for this.
Okay.
When the first year I became a head coach at Warren Springs High School, wanted to come in and wanted to do something a little bit different. And it's called the team ball, TEAM, and it stands for total commitment, effort, attitude, and mental toughness.
Oh, wow.
And once before we played our first game, once the team was picked, that we went around. I gave this ball, and we went around the room, and each player had to basically stand up in front of the rest of the team and tell what their commitment was to that team. And by signing the ball, they were pledging what they told their teammates they would do.
Oh, wow.
And we went all the way around where everybody signed it. I even signed it too. And we took this ball and we put it in a case and put it in the locker room as a reminder every game where they saw that. And then at the end of the season, at the awards banquet, the player that demonstrated the qualities the most, I gave him the team ball at the end of the year.
Boy, that's big time.
And that's my wife.
Yeah.
That was one of the best ideas, which she did that though. But that was we did it every season. We had the team ball. Everybody signed it. Everybody on the team. It was a part of the locker room of the team would do that. And we kept it in a glass case right there in the locker room.
Now, how did you decide at the end of the year who got the ball? Was it your decision, or was it a vote from the team?
It was pretty much my decision.
Okay.
That we voted on the other awards.
Okay.
And I did that too. Where I don't know if you heard there too, that everybody that came to practice every day on my team and practiced hard led basketball.
Okay.
And I actually gave a show team award at my banquet too for the guy who gave us the best look, played the hardest, and did the most to put the team first by winning every day in practice.
Yeah.
We did those.
Yeah, that's a great idea with the basketball. I mean, we do all kind of other stuff, but I can see that being one of those things where that it can be very, very good in a sense that, the one thing about college basketball now is so transit to where you don't know what your team is going to be from year to year.
Right.
But I can see right now, if we'd have had that all in place this year, those two guys right there would get it, because they come to practice every day and they've been the most selfless basketball players. But most importantly, what they've done have made us a better team and better program.
And the thing was, it didn't mean just because you were the leading scorer
No.
or like that had nothing to do with
Yep,
it.
exactly.
It was who had the positive attitude, who did put the team first,
Yep.
and did things, that's who got the ball.
Absolutely.
Who our leading scorer, or all conference, or MVP, or any of that stuff was.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
to me, that was the most coveted award of any of the awards that we had.
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely gonna put that in my memory because that's something you can do at Upstate. That's something you can do at Boiler Springs High School. But it's more something you can do at Ohio State, Maryland, or UConn, because you're gonna need 9 times out of 10, the player that gets that award is the most important player. Is someone you probably can't play without.
Right.
Yeah.
It's somebody that is the best, or
Yeah.
puts the team first.
Exactly.
So I believe that's gonna wrap up. I got some
Well, good.
things that we'll save for another day right
Okay.
here. And I know you're ready to go and eat right there, though. But again, quick assessment. Tell me what we need to do to win the game. What's the keys of the game on Wednesday?
Our energy has got to be really good. We got to be very, 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 very energetic in the game, and we got to be able to play 40 minutes with the same energy. We can't go up and down with that, and then the next thing we got to do, we got to go get the basketball. We got to rebound that basketball on the defensive end, and we got to rebound it on the offensive end as well. And I think if we can do those two things, and have the ball movement and body movement that we do, like we do it sometimes, we do it all the time, then we're gonna give ourselves a good chance of winning.
Well, I look forward to getting to see you play. That last week I had to do the girls' game and all like that.
Yep,
I didn't get to call your game, but this will be my final game, I guess, that I get to call this year.
Well, I'm looking forward to having you, and I just want to say thank you for everything you've done, and having the guys come down and interview with you, and that's been a treat for me as a coach that I can give to them, and talking basketball with you, and just having your folder in my car right now that you gave me, and then that basketball deal is a big thing, and so those are the things that are mentally for me going forward. I'll definitely bring to our program.
Well, I'll get that. When you finish with my book, I'm going to get it, and I'm going to make a copy and give you a copy of it.
I'll love it. I'll love that.
I'll do
I'll
that.
love that.
So,
Yes,
but I've
yeah.
enjoyed, getting to know the guys on the team. I did not know them. And know that Thomas is a man strong in his faith.
He is.
And just all the guys that just, when they come out on the court, I'm ready to go out there and high-five all of them. And they feel like my guys.
No, he is. He's definitely that, and we do a team chaplain before the night before every game, and he's right there, and he prays for every meal, and so he's very, very grounded in the right things.
Well, I actually used to do, when I got out of coaching, still be involved, I put together an all-star game, and it was and I got FCA. My sister was working for FCA that time, and like that, I got them to be the sponsor of it, but I organized it, and it was called the Greenville versus Spartanburg FCA All-Star Challenge, because the games had, the All-Star games are so political in our state in a lot of ways, where coaches pick their players, like that. Because I was a coach one year in the North-South All-Star game, and they said, well, who are you bringing off your team? I said, nobody on my team deserves to be here. And the other two coaches actually took somebody for them that didn't need to be there. But so many kids get left off, so we put together a great rivalry, because there's some good basketball talent in Spartanburg County, and a good one in Greenville, so we played for the bragging rights of those two things. And I did this for 11 years.
And now, was this high school base?
It was we had it at Upstate one year,
Oh, wow.
and we outgrew it because we had to turn people away. The seating was so much.
Oh, man.
And it was high school based, and I got a couple of former coaches to coach the teams there, and then we ended up playing at Dorman and at Burns right there. And we used to have, and the college coaches could come, and so many kids got scholarships from that. But it got to the point to where that the coaches didn't even come see their own kids play. And then support them. Then it got to the point where the players would come and would want, since they were on their own, wear their shirt tails out and look sloppy. And it was it turned into look at me, show. If
Yeah.
there's no team working on, and I quit doing it.
Well, it's kind of like the All-Star game last night in NBA, right?
Yep.
Which was one of those things where
I don't watch it.
Yeah, it
I
was.
don't watch
It's just,
that or the
yeah.
NFL All-Star game.
Yeah, it's one of those things where those guys play so hard and compete for a championship every year, then they come in for that one deal and score 200 points. That's
Yeah.
not basketball.
That's not.
Yeah, that's not basketball. Yeah.
So, but that was something we used to do.
Yeah.
We used to be really good
Yeah.
until, I guess, all good things had to end. But my sister and I, that she played college basketball at USC Upstate, and also, but the FCA supported me, and we had a devotional for the team before the game. We fed them a pregame meal and stuff. We did all that with a message, though, and we had a lot of people that accepted Christ through that.
Yep.
But more important, well, not more importantly, but the second thing was that we had a lot of kids get college scholarships through that because they wouldn't have made any other all-star team if they caught one of the coach's eyes and play that night. And we were able to help some kids get a chance to go on and play college ball. So.
Yeah, those things are good, Dick, and a lot of people don't do that right now because of the atmosphere in high school, college basketball. But some of those things need to come back because we need to give guys more opportunities than they have right now.
Right.
And then having a Greenville Spartanburg All-Star game just to help the kids in the upstate of South Carolina get scholarships and be seen, that would be unbelievable.
One of the first ones we ever did was play USC Upstate.
Yep.
And we, like we said, we packed it out. We had to turn people away with that. We had to move to Dorman and Burns had the two largest seating capacities.
But Dorman has a great gym.
They do. They sure do.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to wrap it up this week from the Sugar and Spice. Again, come out and get tickets. There's still 2 more home games. You can come and fill out the little box on the tables here. They're still here. There's one over there. And get your free tickets because the Spartans have got some good basketball. I want to encourage you to come out and play. We appreciate the people on Mustin Posse came by to see us today.
Mustin and his wife are great people. They're great supporters of Upstate basketball. I really appreciate that.
He said he just got through writing a check to pay for spring sports today.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But I've known Mustin for a long time, though. But it's been fun seeing some of the people that have come, to see the guys and all, and really enjoyed it. But we want to do it. We want to make sure every guy gets an opportunity to do it. And we'll do this, and then once the season's over, we'll have a wrap-up show.
Well, love to do it.
You want to do it?
Love to do it. Hey, I really appreciate you, Dick.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
We'll see you Wednesday night from the Hot Center. Until